Hey guys, welcome back to the Vid-Bits. I'm Bray, and today we're going to be playing some more Elden Ring. I hope you guys are as excited as I am, because I know that we have a lengthy journey ahead of us, and Malenia is going to be no easy battle, but ultimately I believe it's going to be worth it at the end of the day when we finally get that last hit and finish her off. But we made a lot of progress last time, if you remember. We had gotten further than ever into the boss fight, so um, I have pretty high hopes for this episode. Let me just quickly pull chat up. Welcome everyone. Welcome to stream, Panther. Still on Malenia? Yeah. Yep, she has been whooping me up until this point. But I feel confident. Alright. Just had to make sure that sound was all good. What's up, Dad?
Not much. Victoria being chat passively modding and stuff. Working on some more.
Okay. Appreciate the support.
Panthers, what's up, buddy? Reptile. Combat.
Yes. Non-sponsored energy liquid. for your fucking waterfowl dance. Come on. Do it. I know it's next. Ridiculous. First phase is done. Let's go.
Yes!
That was fantastic.
All right, buddy. I knew you had it in a dream. I knew it.
Man, at least that's through first phase. That was it's the first time I've done that. Big hype in the chat, big hype. This is where the real shit begins, I assume. I'm guessing it's one of those situations where the first phase is dramatically more more aggressive than the second. But the second's gonna be more difficult, I feel like. Like, almost like Radagon. Like, no, I feel like Elden Beast was easy. It was just, like, a lot of one-hit attacks. I have no idea what to expect with this, honestly. I'm gonna be so real, I have no idea what to expect. So, just gonna breathe and start second phase. Alright, so for that attack, I just need to dodge towards it. Alright. But she doesn't seem to have that regen thing for phase 2. Which is nice. The health regen is not a part of phase 2, it seems. I just need to be a little bit better about my heals, and I feel like I'll be able to get it. The fucking stun when she starts attacking is crazy. I dodged into that. I appreciate the positive words, Dad. I kind of just died on purpose that time because I realized very quickly that that was not going to be the run I wanted it to be. Alright. Come on. Just gotta focus. I hate that fucking sparking attack. It sucks ass, man. It's almost worse. I'm gonna be so real, it's almost worse than the fucking waterfowl dance because at least I know pretty much every time the waterfowl is gonna happen during that first phase. That shit just happens randomly. She'll just start a fucking attack with that, and I almost always get hit by at least one fucking part of that swing. And it's annoying as hell because then it fucks your pace up. There we go. Yet again, another first phase clear. Making progress, guys, making progress. I was supposed to just dodge through that one. I think I just need to start running forward and dodge through. How does she take damage in that encounter? Like, how? I don't understand how she starts off damaged. If someone could explain that to me in the chat. Because that seems to be weird. Like, when she does that attack, she either gets damaged during it or already is damaged going into it. Yeah, I can cancel that waterfowl if I want by hitting a critical. That's awesome. Yeah. There was no way that I was going to survive that. I had no chance to heal. We're making pretty good progress, though, if I do say so myself. I mean, we just got to get a couple more good runs where we get to second phase and start learning more about that. I mean, then we're golden. I can see why people see Malenia to be harder than Radagon. I just think they're different fights. One is not easier than the other, in my opinion, at least with the build I'm running. If anything, Malenia seems to be easier than Radagon still. Because she at least takes damage when you make her bleed. Okay. I don't know. If you get depressed over a video game, you're fucking wrong. I'm gonna be so real. You decided to start the game. Like, I'm just being honest, right? Like, if you feel like you have legitimate depression caused by a video game, stop playing it.
When you buy lottery tickets and tell you have a problem, you call a number, so you flip over the box and it says, if you're depressed because you can't beat this game, please call this number.
I don't know. I just think that's kind of ridiculous.
You know it's true, though.
I mean, people have way worse problems going on, like, you know, problems at home, problems with their spouse. There are way more pressing matters than, oh, I can't beat Elden Ring, therefore I'm sad. It was just a bad start. I took too many random hits. tear up what he thinks is your bed if you're not up yet. I should have canceled it. Pro tip: if you make them hemorrhage right as they, or her, if you make her hemorrhage right as she does the what's it called? The fucking waterfowl dance. She'll just stop and just move on to the next move. Like I said though, once I beat Malenia, I'm gonna kind of take a little vacation, play some games that I can make progress in. Kind of frustrating being stuck on the same boss for multiple days like this. I mean, I don't care. It's just it's irritating. I didn't dodge in the right direction. I didn't heal. I fucking got out of rhythm. Fuck! Whatever you say, Yoda. I'd love to see you fucking live stream your Elden Ring playthrough. Have to deal with the criticism from each and every little denizen of the deep. One, two. I just did not even start that encounter properly. Dodged backwards instead of to the side. And fucking excellent. Just fantastic. Fucking throwing right here. I'm gonna be so real, I think Elden Ring kinda just gets hard for the sake of being hard, and it's not good for the same reasons I like Dark Souls. Like, I love Elden Ring, don't get me wrong, but Dark Souls, to me, is just a better game because of how manageable it is, yet difficult. It's manageable, yet difficult. Whereas this just seems to be like, well, 85% of people aren't gonna beat this at all. Which is fine. It's just, it seems like I said, it's just hard for the sake of being hard. I still prefer Dark Souls 3. I also, I mean, to be fair, yeah, Yoda, I did in fact know that Malenia would be the Blade of Mikola. But I feel like, I also don't like open world games. I'm just kind of at that point where there are open world games that I like, but I don't like a game solely for being an open world game. And half the time open world games just seem fucking too much. Yeah, I know that I can choose to summon, but I haven't really used summons at all, except for Radon, because I had a fight where I literally traded with him, or was one hit off from killing him, and then chat was like, you should just use summons, it makes this fight more fun, and then I did. But aside from that, I don't really feel like using summons for one-on-one fights like this. It kind of breaks the AI, and it just doesn't, I don't know, it's not as intended, I feel like. I know they're balanced around it, but at the same time, having multiple targets for the boss to lock onto just makes it more, I mean, it's just a little simplified. I'd rather just overcome the odds and do it this way. Whereas, when I get to DLC, it's no holds barred. I feel like, mimic tiers and whatnot are all gonna be on the table for DLC. You know? Because people have already told me that, I've already watched people who I know to be better than myself play DLC, and they needed summons, whether that be Mimic Tier or other summons. So to me, I don't really mind spending a little bit of extra time to be able to beat this without it, because this is the last boss that I'm fighting for my base game playthrough. What's up, Mamoose? Welcome to chat. Fuck. It's just weird how if you do enough damage, she just doesn't do waterfowl at all. At least for the first time. Bad timed heal. This is probably a wash. Didn't do bad in this one though. Yeah, I didn't have any heals. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like a Soulsborne game that's open world is just more more overwhelming for me personally. Like, that's why I just look forward to playing Dark Souls 1 and 2 again. Like, I haven't beat either of them, but I look forward to playing them because ultimately, I mean, I enjoy the linear Souls game more than the open world one. Like, it's just me. I also feel like it's just a lot. there's a lot of bosses that I just don't even want to fight. Like, I don't know, there should be bosses that I don't want to fight. Whereas there are some generic, like, Deathbird enemy bosses and fucking minor Erdtrees, like, or whatever they're called, like, the Erdtree avatars. Like, I don't want to fight one of those for the fucking 5th time. It's the same boss again. Like, I'm gonna be so real. Those are the repeating bosses in Elden Ring fucking suck, bro. Like, they're not enjoyable or really fun to fight. Like, it's the same pattern for the same boss. Like, that's why the unique bosses in Elden Ring are fantastic, and it's what makes the game great. But, like, the repeating bosses, I could just go without. I'm gonna be so honest. They could just not exist, and I don't think anyone would be bothered. Personally, I like the ever goal, however you say it, the optional bosses that you have to use a lot of times you have to use the stone sword key for. Those tend to be so much better than the repeating world bosses. The one thing I will say is Elden Ring improved on dragon bosses from Dark Souls 3, whereas in Dark Souls 3, they just if you use target lock, they completely obliterate your fucking camera. Like, there's no way you're gonna efficiently be able to control that camera because the target lock will, like, whenever they fly, it just fucking completely shifts your perspective to an angle that's just completely disorienting.
Barrier to entry here. If you're not like a masterclass worker of camera work, does it feel like it's difficult to play a game like this?
I think it just matters on the boss. Some bosses can be perfectly dealt with the target lock, like I've been saying, and other bosses, like the dragons, and at least in Dark Souls 3, just tend to make it so if they go up, your camera just completely unlocks and you're left naked feeling. Like, you just don't even know where to. You don't even know where to look.
So in a sense, when you're trying to always get behind the boss, you're always just kind of that's how I felt like that.
The problem is if you don't have the perfect start, there's no reason to go through the whole fucking fight because you need all of your flasks and probably more. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things that I think I said this earlier, but I think this game just gets hard for the sake of being hard, and it stopped. Like, I know people say, well, that's what it's all about, blah 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 blah. But like, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 have a level of manageable difficulty that makes you feel challenged and rewarded at the same time. Whereas this, I feel like most of the time, if you can't beat it at the required level, you just have to level up more, and I feel like it just. I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. I'm just gonna do it until I beat it. My pride, I'm already 20 levels ahead. I'm not gonna level up anymore. So. Nope. I mean, I don't know. Unfortunately, since it's an optional boss that's not the final boss, having it be more difficult than the final boss is just... I mean, it does kind of rob you of the satisfaction, or it was more so, I just had an overwhelming sense of dread once I beat Radagon instead of being really happy about it. Yep. And it's just that. It's that the whole boss fight is this one fucking attack that you have to learn to navigate. And it's not... This boss is just over fucking rated. It's not as good as Radagon. At least that two-step fight where you face you face him and then you face the Elden Beast, you at least feel a sense of satisfaction. Whereas this is just like, it's demanding in a not fun way.
Is that all attack and at least evenly paced throughout the fight? Or
yeah, but the problem is she heals, so she'll heal past that point and do the fucking attack again. Anytime she hits you, she gets health back. I don't know. I still don't get how people like this more than Dark Souls 3. it's literally all bragging rights.
Don't feel like that's about like, oh, you were a better player because you beat that boss like that. Or like, oh, you suffered through it, you must just catch out and stop passing down and keep the ring.
I guess it's just not the same level of satisfaction that I feel from playing Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 start to finish has good pacing. This game has the worst fucking starting pacing of all time. I don't care what anyone fucking says. This game is so boring at the fucking beginning. It literally, like,
Why I didn't pick it up again, man.
like, don't get me wrong, the bosses are fun, but like the parts in between at the beginning are so fucking boring.
That's what you're saying is the argument for the linearity versus the
Yes.
open world, because the open world makes you bored in between the set pieces versus the linearity pulls you into exciting set pieces.
I feel like Dark Souls 3 is hit after hit after hit with besides 2 bosses or 3 bosses.
You were really happy on the first time you played that because at least you got through the boss fight, and then the next morning you woke up and you wanted.
I think it's just ultimately this game is just more demanding, which that's not really a good or bad thing, at least from the way I'm putting it. It's more so just if you like a demanding fucking game, sure you'll like this. But like, whereas I feel like ultimately Dark Souls 3 has a perfect balance of demanding yet rewarding and achievable. It's not I can see Asmongold's fucking problem with the DLC if the DLC is more demanding than this. If there's a boss that has a longer fucking combo than Malenia, I can understand why he's like, dude, the fucking combos last too long. And it's just long for the sake of being long. Like, and people just dogged on him for that take. But I feel like it's fair. That's a fair thing to say. Like, I already started feeling like in Elden Ring, the combos started getting a little bit longer than I liked dealing with. Don't get me wrong, I can adapt, but it's just not. I have to keep it on 100 the whole time to fucking beat it, versus being able to just take some sighs of relief during certain boss fights, being able to have fun with it. It's like, if you want a fun yet manageable difficulty, play Dark Souls 3. If you've played the other games and you've already suffered playing them, come play Elden Ring and suffer more. Like, it's because it's really just ultimately making you keep up with more, making you dodge 3 times more than any other boss fight would likely make you dodge. And I think it's just true with any franchise. The first game you play is the one you're gonna like the most, or maybe the first one you beat. Because I feel like Dark Souls 1 is a little broken, but it's got a good difficulty curve to it. Dark Souls 2, if you don't know to level ADP, it's gonna be fucking hell, which that was my first playthrough. So I don't even count my playthrough of Dark Souls 2 because I didn't know to level ADP. So I don't feel like the difficulty is the same when I have no iframes. You know what I mean? Like, whereas Dark Souls 3 really reins in everything that makes a Soulsborne game a good game and turns it up to 11. Like I said, with exception to 2 or 3 shitty boss fights. I think Yorm could be more difficult. I think Ancient Wyvern could be a different fight, just not that. And I think that the Curse-Rotted Greatwood could be a little bit better of a fight. But aside from those small complaints, Dark Souls 3, in my opinion, is a fucking masterpiece. I think Elden Ring is one of those situations where more is not necessarily better. It's not bad. It's great. It's like when you have an amazing game and you get a little bit more of it. That's how Elden Ring feels. It feels like it's just a little bit more Dark Souls 3. But like ultimately I feel like the task from start to finish is more overwhelming. In a weekend, I could sit down and beat Dark Souls 3. You're not fucking beating Elden Ring in a weekend. I just don't think, I mean, unless you've played it before or know exactly what you're doing, I just don't think that's gonna happen. Welcome back, Matthew. We are still currently in fucking purgatory. I started this stream off very, very good, finishing the first phase twice. Weird. Why did she do that over and over again? Damn it. Right out of range. Fuck! Literally missing one attack. Listen. I understand that I can use summons. I'm not complaining that the game is too hard because I'm not using summons. I'm saying, in this way, it tends to be more overwhelming having an open-world Soulsborne experience versus a linear one. That's the only argument I'm making. I'm not saying this is easier or harder based off of my playstyle. I'm not complaining about that. All I'm legitimately mentioning is the fact that the patterns in this game tend to be longer, and that this game is open world. I'm not saying anything about my playstyle and how that's affecting the difficulty. Don't get me wrong, I know that using no summons is adding challenge. I'm aware of that. I'm totally aware of that. I think, but at the same time, people who do make those arguments are saying that Dark Souls 3 is more manageable without summons than Elden Ring, which is a true statement. I don't think that there's anything wrong in that claim. I just feel, and there are a lot, like, people who enjoy Dark Souls 3 are entitled to that opinion. Just as much as people who like Elden Ring more are also entitled to that opinion. I personally like the linear experience that Dark Souls 3 provides more than the open world experience that Elden Ring provides. That's really all I'm saying. But saying that Elden Ring is a more daunting or taxing experience is also a true statement. There's no part of me that believes that Dark Souls 3 is more difficult than Elden Ring, because it's just not. You can beat all of Dark Souls 3 no summons very easily. Whereas, not using summons in Elden Ring is a bit more of a task. I'm also at the final boss of the base game, so why would I start using summons this deep into the fight? Like, this is like the third stream. I'm not gonna just all of a sudden completely change the way that I've been playing in order to just get through it quicker. Because if I wanted to get through it with summons, I would have already beat this bitch. But that's not what I'm going for. When you hear people talk up Malenia as a difficult boss, you want to be able to beat it the same way that everyone else is bragging about beating it. And those people have bragged about beating it without summons. So to me, I feel like I almost have to, my pride tells me I have to live up to the same expectation, which I don't have to. That's my choice. I choose to do that. But if you're impatient in watching me beat it, then just fucking leave. I'm gonna be so real. If you think it's taking me too long for your time, then just fucking leave and go watch someone else's stream. You know, because this is how I want to fight the boss, so this is how I'm gonna fight it. And that's the last I'll say about it, because I feel like people just fucking judge other people for the way that they play these games way too much. It's a fucking game. I'm not gonna ever be like, oh, your playthrough is worth less because of summons. I'm never gonna shit on someone else for doing it. But me personally, I don't feel like doing that. I understand this game is totally balanced around using summons. I get that. I totally get that. I understand that the game, because they want to make it more accessible, they then need to make it so that the bosses aren't instantly fucking cheesed when you use the summons. Yeah, William, I have gotten closer. I got to phase 2 a couple times this stream so far. I just need to kind of need to lock in and pay attention. I fucking dodged right into that. That was all on me. I was trying to dodge around her. Yeah, phase 2 is definitely difficult. I just, I haven't gotten far enough into it, really. No, there's not more than 2. He's saying between phase 1 and 2, phase 2 is more difficult in his opinion. I'm always open to tips from chat. It seems like to me running backwards and then dodging through the second portion of the attack tends to work best, but I still end up getting hit most of the time. Ugh, just missed that second attack. One, two. All right. Yeah, it seems like for the most part, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Is about a fourth of the way through the health bar. You notice waterfall happens. I would say about where I'm standing right now in the health bar is where the first one is, like where my body is. I think it only seems like there's about 2 or 3 opportunities for her to use it at all, and then each time it goes past that part. So say she heals past the first checkpoint on the bar where she'd start waterfowl, then it'll do it again. So each and every time it passes by that, regardless of whether it's for the first time or healing past it, it'll cue that attack to happen. So it'll be here soon. I need to do a little bit more damage, I think, before she'll be queued to do it. And it also is best if you have a lot of open room behind you. There we go. Alright, that wasn't horrible. Just gonna do the grab. That was a bad timed heal on my part. That's probably fucking round, yep. This is one of those fights that you have to be so fucking aggressive for. You pretty much have, it reminds me of a fight like Lorien and Lothric, or even Radagon in a way, where it's like you need to go for every opening possible when you can, or else you're not gonna be able to go through and beat the whole fight. Or say Sister Fried, for example. She's a perfect example of an endurance kind of round like this, where you have to optimize damage and maintain enough health to get through the duration of the fight. That one happens to be one of the only 3-phase bosses in the Souls games, and it is definitely a unique challenge within itself if you've never fought it. That's waterfowl. See, I've also noticed if you do enough damage and you're running a bleed build, you're able to stop her waterfowl dance altogether. If you hit a hemorrhage right before, like right while she's in the air, she'll just stop. And some of my best runs have been runs where I've gotten that to happen, because then you can just, you know, keep your momentum instead of having to completely stop what you're doing to manage that attack. Alright, it's gonna be like right here. Wait, 1, 2. Yep. See, that was the problem, is I needed to dodge backwards. It's essentially like the most consistent way I've found to dodge this attack is when she's coming towards you, you run backwards as fast as you can to avoid the first part. And then you dodge into her second attack when she's stopped. And then you have to dodge, then you start dodging backwards again out. You can bait out waterfall with a throwing knife. It's a good pro tip. I was right out of range. I always dodge back into it. See, it's my problem is I always stop too soon, and then I need to get that one more hit to cause waterfall to go off, and then I fucking miss it. Like, or I'll like hit it and then put myself in a horrible position and then die. Okay. Why did that fucking attack not go off? I tried to do it and it just didn't go. Let me drink a little bit more caffeine. I am still waking up for the day. I literally woke up and then just started streaming right after Dad's stream, so. I appreciate the support, guys. I'm definitely gonna get it. And I'm sorry if I came off a little rude, Alula. There's just a lot of people who, whenever I stream, they always come in and they think that I'm shitting on the game too much or something, and it's because I'm not using summons, and it's not that. I feel like people do be watching your loadouts too much. It's a fucking game, yo. Like, if I want to use a fucking stick to beat this game, that's on me. And like, I feel like some people are like, I remember last time, why are you using Moonveil? Why aren't you using the best sword in the game? Well, I don't know. I don't want to use the best sword in the game. I'd rather use the one that just got nerfed and is supposedly all shitty. Yeah, I get it. It is a lot of pressure to have cameras on. I mean, shit. Earlier in my Elden Ring playthrough, I had to... The first time I ever had to hide someone's messages and ban them from the channel was because every time I streamed, they insisted on trying to give me items. One time, or one or two times, I accept it, right? I wanted to be nice. I always wondered, well, why do streamers never accept handouts regardless of what game they're playing? And it's for a couple reasons. Because first, then everyone wants to give you the handouts, and then you have to tell so many people no, and then they're like, well, why did you accept it from this person? Because that's happened. And then the other thing is, that person trying to undermine your accomplishment because they decided to give you the items. This person was like, well, the only reason you're doing this is because I gave you this. I'm like, bro, if I wanted that, I would have fucking got it. I really only took it from you to make you happy, to make you feel like you made some sort of impact on my playthrough. And it's shitty, but that's the truth. That's why nobody accepts like gifts like that in games when they're streaming, is because there's gonna be some sort of fucking drama from it for no reason. Or the other thing was, someone was giving me shit because I accepted items from him. And I'm like, I was literally just trying to make him happy. Because ultimately, you're coming to a streamer for some sort of validation, whether that be for your skill, for, your comedy. There's a reason you're coming to watch a streamer, and that's okay. And I want to be here to support you guys, but when people try to make the whole stream about themselves, it's just kind of cringy. I'm gonna be so real. I don't think anyone else in stream wanted to listen to that shit. And he would also like bomb chat when I didn't listen to his suggestions. Like, dude, sometimes I'm just gonna play the game I want to play the way I want to play it. I totally appreciate suggestions and pointing me in the right direction and everything. But when I'm just trying to explore, like, bro, it's an open world game. Like, I would be exploring just the the way I thought made sense, and then he'd be like, "You're going the wrong way," and I'm like, "Dude, chill." Like, it's a fucking video game. But I mean, as a newer streamer who's he who must not be named, we're not gonna name names. I'm not an asshole. I'm not gonna fucking talk shit. I mean, I'm sure you could, if you go back, it's the only person I've ever had any sort of like frustration or conflict with in stream, and ultimately they don't hang around anymore, and that's a good thing, because I feel like the chat's more lively now that he's not fucking just nuking it. Like, don't get me wrong, I always want to listen to you guys' suggestions. Always. I mean, if there's a cool weapon I can get that'll make things a little easier, if there's like, if it makes sense. But if I'm in the if I'm in the middle of doing something, I either may not get around to the suggestion, or I'll get to it at my own pace. So for this person to just kind of be real shitty about that, it was a learning experience for me as a new streamer and new content creator in general, because that's something that people don't exactly prep you for. No one really explains to you how to deal with that situation when it does arise. All right, we're about halfway. There's waterfall. I did not run soon enough. That was my problem that time. Oh shit! I could have fucking got that one to stop. I pressed the wrong button. But if I would have used LB right there, I would have canceled out her waterfowl, because I know that I was 1 or 2 hits away from getting hemorrhage. I need to play though as if that's not the case, because if I don't learn to efficiently dodge the dance, then I'm gonna keep losing really good runs where I have a majority of my heals early. Because that's the thing, is there are two situations. I either lose because I don't have enough heals in the end, or because I am just not. Shit, it is so hard to talk during this fight. I've been saying this since yesterday. It is difficult to commentate while you play this fight. Whereas I feel like some other fights you can really just kind of casually talk through. But like, I either fail because I lose a promising run, or I don't have enough heals at the end. Those are the two situations. There we go. Or she heals way too much and then the run's pretty much dead. That's another option, because that does happen from time to time. I'm expecting another waterfowl. I feel like we've crossed that threshold again. Yep, I was right. More practice. I mean, as long as I don't die to that attack, I'm pretty chill. I just need to get better about dodging that one. Sometimes, completely fine. Other times, I guess it just depends on where I am in the arena. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes when I'm in the very center, it's perfect. But then other times when I start getting too close to the walls, that's when the run kind of dies, because I get a little anxious as I get too close to the wall, because it's an easy way to get pinned. And, certain bosses in in previous games have kind of gotten me used to staying away from the walls. Say Abyss Watchers, for example. You will get fucked up in Abyss Watchers if you're next to the wall. But otherwise, if you stay kind of in the center of the arena, that's a pretty manageable fight. I don't know why, but Malenia kind of reminds me of a Dark Souls 2 boss, and I can't put my finger on who, but I guess it's just her variety of attacks. Or maybe she honestly kind of reminds me of... There's another boss I was thinking of, at least the Phase 1 reminds me of. It'll come to me. Yep, I totally get that. The slight elevation on the outside kind of gets you fucked. Because you'll think you'll be clear from an attack, and you're actually just the slightest bit closer because of the elevation. Well, Alula, what's your favorite Souls boss? I mean, if you had to pick one. If not, then what's your favorite Elden Ring boss? Because, I mean, there are just some really, really good bosses in the series. And some of my favorite even have come from Elden Ring. And whenever I critique Elden Ring, it's not that I don't like the game. I feel like, for me, sometimes it seems a little overwhelming. By comparison, though. You know, like... Dark Souls 3 was my first Souls game I beat. And I've beaten it since then now. Godfrey. I really love the fight with, what's his name? Dark Souls 3 boss, Aldrich, or Aldrich, I don't know how to say it, but the fact that he literally had, like, he's literally, like, posting up homie's body and using his attacks is just crazy to me. And lore-wise, he is one of the most despicable characters in all of the Souls games. That's a fun fight. I mean, Ornstein and Smo is a classic ass fight. One of my favorites in Dark Souls 1. I can't wait till we play Dark Souls 1 for the channel. And I'll be so much better now. I did not even know how to build craft in Dark Souls 1. I really was just kind of raw dogging it when I played it. And that's probably the reason I didn't beat Dark Souls 1 was because I had an improper build. I just did not know how weapon scaling worked or anything, so it was just not a great sesh. I mean, I managed to beat shit. It was just never like manageable because I did not understand how any of the stuff really worked as far as build crafting went. Like I said, weapon scaling or even just the stats in general. But then again, I was, 14, 15 when I first tried playing Dark Souls 3, so would make sense. I had this kind of mentality when I was younger, not that was that long ago, but where I would just kind of try to beat games as fast as possible, sometimes in not the most calculated fashion. But with some games you can kind of do that. You can kind of have no idea what you're doing and then just raw dog the shit out of the game, Whereas the Souls series and Elden Ring and anything in the genre really take a lot more patience and a lot more time to do. And I'd be like, I remember a lot of the games on the Wii, I would beat the same day and then return them. And it made me really angry as a kid because, I really felt like I was insulted almost by, like, the lack of content. The Wii is a nostalgia generation. I'm gonna be so real. Like, the Wii was not that great. You look back on the amount of amazing games that came from the Wii, and there is not as many as you thought there were. you always believe there are more games that were awesome than there are. Whereas Xbox 360 is the goated generation, bro. Slept on. The Xbox 360 was unappreciated in its fucking time, bro. Alright, I'm gonna lock in, talk a little bit less, and beat this shit. Yep, Wii was just for group party games. That's exactly right. Forlorn Hound says Slave Knight Gale. Fantastic boss fight. I remember the reaction that I had was fucking insane. I don't know. I feel like, because I beat Slave Knight Gale way earlier than I thought I would. I thought that would be a lengthy fight, and I beat it in, what was it, an hour and a half? I like just beat the shit out of Slave Knight Gale, and I thought that was gonna be like a boss that would take so long, so I just fucking erupted with just happiness when I got it as quick as I did. One of my favorite streams to date, actually. There are there are a couple of streams that I get pretty damn loud. I mean, shit, the stream where I finally beat Elden Beast, that was something. I'm surprised I didn't wake everybody up in my fucking neighborhood with that one. This is probably just a wipe. I've used 2 heals and made it nowhere. Alright, like I said, I need to just kind of lock in and pay more attention. This boss really does take a lot of focus. So, for those of you in chat who have beat Malenia, what level were you when you beat Malenia, and what build did you use? I'm just curious. One, two. Gonna use this opportunity to heal. I should not have double healed. Should have just been a single one. I got punished really bad for that. 130 pure strength. See, that's the thing. I feel like I've never done a strength run, so I do not understand how that works. I know it's from watching it, it seems a little easier. I don't know why people always say Dex is the easiest. I do not feel like Dex is comparatively easy to strength. I feel like strength's early game is more difficult. You seem to have less two-handed weapons available, at least in Dark Souls 3. Then again, Elden Ring really has fucking so many weapons. Oh, why did I do that? Throwing, chat. I'm fucking throwing. Rusty Anchor is my baby. What does Rusty Anchor do? Or is that the weapon? I didn't know if that was a talisman. It kind of sounds like a talisman. There are so many weapons in this game that I forget. Alright, I'm expecting that fucking waterfall. Great axe, awesome. I think the next time I play the next time I play Elden Ring, I'm gonna do a two-handed build. I feel like I want to do a two-handed build in Dark Souls 1 as well. Maybe a Zweihander build. That would be fucking awesome. I've never used it. And you can get it right off the bat. That would be fun. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that for my Dark Souls 1 playthrough. Because I've never done two-handed on Dark Souls 1. I've always done one-handed in shield or dual wield. And that would be a fun change of pace. Bad time to heal. One, two. Bad heal. I think I'm gonna take your piece of advice. I'm gonna add fucking throwing knives to cue that attack, because I always feel like I have to run into her, and it's just not worth it. It kills so many of my runs trying to proc that attack. Fucking longest combos known to man. I swear to God. I'm gonna get this, chat. It's gonna be this stream. I feel it. It was the first stream that we made it to second phase, which is very promising. Ah, this is already a fucking scuffed run, just might as well die. I always swear by this. I think the start of a fight is the most important. You can dick around in the middle and still accomplish your goal, but if you don't have a good start to it, you're not gonna fucking make it. Like, especially in a fight where the boss regens health. I feel like you need to like make a good dent, back up, and then you just kind of have to play very reserved. I'm playing too aggressive sometimes. I didn't do seppuku. Fuck. One, two, three. Too early. I didn't even fucking... what? I do not feel like I was that close. I really thought I didn't need to dodge. Like, it was so fucking close. I'm gonna watch it back. Like, what? How did that even connect? How did that connect? Deceptive hitboxes. I didn't run out far enough. Now we're too close to the fucking entrance. I'm just gonna die. This is one of those fights that I feel like once I fuck up enough, it's just like, oh, wiping again. You gotta go, Alula. One last tip. Heal during punish windows. Her heal input reads are deadly. Good tip. I appreciate that. Have a good day at work, man. Glad to have you in stream. That was a bad end. Just gotta lock in. That started off very good. I think that piece of advice that that they gave was very good. Healing only during punish windows, and to what was the other thing? Oh, just dropped my fucking phone on the floor. Like, I needed one more hit for another fucking... That's the problem. I need to just stop trying to fucking push past that and just do it normally. And I need to use those throwing knives like... That was the other tip that Alula gave, was use throwing knives. I can use that to bait the attack out once the health bar's at a certain point. Fuck. See, like, I was trying to get away to start getting ready for that attack, and then she gets fucking hella aggressive. Decent attempt. Not too bad, not too bad. Just gotta keep the aggression on. Gotta keep the combo going. It's just like, it's one of those things that it's like Dancer in a way. Like, you really do have to start getting predictive with your movements to be able to get around a lot of her attacks. Fucking misstep. Like, you make one mistake and the whole run's over. Balls. Fuck. I get it. You're the blade of Mikola, damn it. God. After a while, I kind of get sick of hearing the same fucking line over and over again. Keep it 100. Like bashing your fucking brains in with a hammer. Each time she says it, I get a little bit more insane. Like, my madness fucking bar increases every time she says it over and over again. You're just gonna do that one over and over again? Fuck. I get it. Feels bad when you get the first phase clear, like right at the start of the stream. Like it's all downhill from there. I mean, I know we're gonna beat it a couple more times, at least phase 1. It might be another stream before we beat this one. It's demanding, so I can't play it for fucking long. I don't know how people do this fight for 6 hours. It's just, I can't. So I have a 4 hours time limit on this stream, or, yeah. 4-hour time limit, so maybe we do it, maybe we don't. We've gotten pretty damn close today. What the fuck was that? I was completely behind her. Thank you, wall. Why did I do that? I didn't even mean to fucking do that. It's just a force of habit. Fuck, yo. Yeah, Louie, I can talk to Dad and see if we can move the schedule around to have NES Remix be after this. I don't think it's like definitely set in stone, but I'll have to run it past him. I'm glad that you're interested in the stuff we have planned for later today. Alright. As I always say, I mean, we have a lot of shit going up all the time here on the channel, so there's all kinds of different content stuff for everybody, honestly. There's a whole playthrough of Dark Souls 3 if you guys are interested in that, up on the channel in a playlist. We've also got playthroughs of countless other games, so not just the Souls games or Elden Ring. We've also got some speed runs up there. Obviously, Dad does a lot of our speed runs, but I also have some DuckTales speed runs up in a folder as well, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. It's a pretty good tip to bait that attack out. That's a familiar fucking death. It's always the heals, bro. It's always when I use the heals at the wrong time. Fuck. Shouldn't have walked into it, but that was good. I couldn't bait it. I couldn't bait it out that time. I feel like I was fucking throwing a bunch of daggers and she didn't really respond. That's a good. It's a good tactic though, because you can get way far from that first attack, and not even have to worry about running away from it, and then you can dodge the second attack. You saw how I did it that time. It works well. You just have to know when to do it, which I'm still kind of learning. See, that's how I cued her to do it hella early. I shouldn't have gone for that last attack. Instead of, I should have distanced and then thrown it at her. Yeah, like Alula said, it is a counter attack, the waterfowl, which is a good piece of information to have, because knowing that it's a counter attack, you can prompt her to do it. You know. That time I didn't start off well. I had a bad timed seppuku. Dodged too early that time. Alright. I'm scared that she's gonna do waterfowl again. I thought I had fucking heals though. I'm making progress though, chat. I'm learning that I might have to just go stock up on some daggers, and that'll definitely help me get past that one fucking attack. It's crazy how like the hardest part of a whole fight is just one attack. It's not even the varied move set. It just tends to be that one. It's any boss really with that one hit unblockable attack that like if you don't get past that, you're never gonna get past it. So you have to learn to adapt to that attack and kind of either learn how to tank damage in the right way or completely dodge it if possible, which sometimes there's just a lot of nuance to why and how you can dodge the attacks. Some bosses it's as simple as queuing them to do the attack and then knowing where to be to get away from it. Or, I mean, shit, with Sister Freed, it's that fucking attack where she teleports around the map and you have to look for her little footsteps. That shit's annoying as shit when you don't know to look for it. There are certain tells at times that you can use to kind of put yourself in an optimum position, but even then still, sometimes you get screwed over by one thing or another. fucking loves that attack. Oh. 3 times in a fucking row, yo. Like, doing the same chain of fucking attacks 3 times in a row. Like, I get it. I fucking get it. It's hard. But, like, it's not like... I feel like it's not really creative in the way that it's hard. It's just like doing the same attack over and over again. Or you die to the one unblockable attack. It's, I don't know. It's just... There are certain boss fights that I feel like do the same war of attrition style endurance kind of boss fight a little bit better. I mean, no hate to Malenia. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Dancer in a way where you just kind of have to know where to be. And there are certain parts, certain spots or certain combos that if you interact with them in the wrong way, you're just fucked. Like that one. You literally need to do what I did the one time, every time. You dodge back, you dodge diagonally towards, then you dodge back again. And that's how you get away from that. But if you don't do that every single time, pretty much frame perfect, that's the only like that and waterfowl are the only attacks you even have to worry about. Like a majority of these attacks leave her extremely vulnerable and not even like don't even really do anything. Like the attack where she swipes up and then swipes down, that attack doesn't do shit. I'm gonna be completely honest. It doesn't. I very rarely die to that attack. And it's only if I am preemptively treating it like a different attack. Which you have to do at times. You have to just guess. That's how you learn those windows of attack, is by guessing when your opportunities are initially. I need to stop fucking healing there. I just do that every time. I'm just trying to be preemptive and I get hit by an attack that's so easily fucking dodgeable. And it leaves her extremely open for attack. See, literally, one false move. Me using that heal in the wrong spot gets me killed that same way pretty much every time I do it. And it's just me trying to be preemptive. When a boss kills you in 2 to 3 hits every single time, you tend to overheal. I just need to remind myself that every time I heal, she will fucking be more likely to attack me. As Alula puts it, her heal input reads are deadly, and that's a perfect way of describing it. One, two. That was a good first phase, guys. I feel good about that one. Feel good about phase 1. Feel good about it. Alright, yes. Run straight forward and dodge through is how you survive that attack. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. I haven't even seen that attack before, so this is all learning. Okay, so they punish... Okay, so in phase 2, she punishes the attack that is damageable. Don't... When she does the drop, that's a fake out. Okay, when she drops, or like when she flies up, and that's a fake out. I'm gonna watch it again on stream real quick. Let me rewind. So... Oh, no, it's when she... Ah, I see. Then she's susceptible afterwards. Okay, so... In phase 2, she does the same lunge attack she does in phase 1, but I need to know that I can't punish it the same way I do in phase 1. Okay, come on. She also seems to have less health in phase 2 than phase 1. Not entirely sure if that's true, but... Or maybe because she has less armor on, she's more susceptible to bleed in phase 2, but... Either way. I need more throwing knives, actually. Oh, Dad, we had a question in chat. Can we move NES Remix to after this? Yeah. Alright, I figured that wasn't necessarily set in stone. Yeah, it'll be a good thing to kind of wind down after this. That was a horrible run. I tried punishing in a bad spot. I need to go to the bathroom, OBRB. Alright, I'm back. Let's give this another shot. was horrible. Just kill me. I'm gonna be honest, I'm starting to get a little fucking fatigued after almost 2 hours and 20 minutes of this shit. It just sucks because I would like to just go at it for 6 hours, but the pattern's so demanding for me to be getting any sort of ground. I need to be at my best play of the day, and like that only lasts for so many hours before you start playing more fatigued and not as good as usual. So I'm trying my best to make ground today. I mean, obviously this is the first stream where we've pushed to second phase, so I mean, that's progress. It's just, at the same time, it is frustrating having to do it in multiple streams like this. Did you guys see her get health even though she was just hitting my dead body? Come on, guys. I just need to summon the strength. Just gonna emote at her. She's like, nah. might as well fucking die at that point. Gosh. Luckily, we've made some progress this stream. Getting into phase 2 and learning some more of the second phase moves is very important. I have a feeling second phase, even though it does more damage, is not going to be harder than this phase. It's kind of like the Radagon Elden Beast fight, where like, sure, the Elden Beast has more damaging combos, but I don't think it's going to be harder to dodge her in second phase compared to phase 1. Two. I just keep moving in too close on accident. It's that fucking parry, bro. It's when she fucking parries and does that shit. That attack is so rough. It's just fucking annoying, man. It's just dodging 3 or 4 different directions to be able to get away from it's kind of fucking tough. Like, you have to dodge back, then you have to dodge diagonal, then you have to dodge back again. But sometimes if the camera's moving the wrong way, then dodging back will send you towards her attack, and then it's kind of hard to keep up a consistent fucking pattern for that. And don't get me wrong, you can get away from it. It's just I'd prefer to do it without losing any fucking health. This is poor timing on my part.
Update on the schedule. Thanks to everyone for the request. Wanted it, so we did switch it around, and it'll be coming up after Bray's Elden Ring stream. So thanks. Check the community post, and you'll see the adjusted schedule.
Yep, we'll be doing a NES remix after this stream. So, like Dad said, we typically have schedules set in stone, but you know, every once in a while we are willing to adjust for people. So don't get in the habit of asking. This is all I'm gonna say. See, it like I'm out of daggers. Go back to. Need to go back to spawn and see if I have any that I can buy. Is there really no fucking daggers? That's annoying. Church of Ella in West Limgrave. Here it is. Hey, Santa.
Wait, well, you're back.
That should be enough.
Goodbye.
If that's not enough to kill this boss, I don't know what is. How much do I have in my inventory? Okay, so I can hold 40 at a time. I'll just have to restock at the bonfire. That works. That was just an odd start. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Like, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the slam that never fucking happened. Like, it's just odd when the fight just goes completely different for some reason. I have a new problem. Fucking not having the heals out and using the throwing knife instead. Fuck, that's just so stupid. Why did I do that? It's always when she's a fucking pinch away from that fucking attack, and I'm trying to bait it out, and then I think that maybe the attack's just been skipped, and then she just fucking does it late. It's just weird. Welcome to chat. Welcome to chat. How you doing? I'm just over here bashing my head into a brick wall, per usual. got fucking stun locked in the middle of that. I'm currently running a bleed build. I don't know what you mean, do the bleed build. That's what I'm doing. That one fell apart. I was just not cautious enough. I was getting too aggressive. I dodged. Fucking dodged into the attack. I love making stupid mistakes.
Did you know that you can actually summon in summons and make this fight easier?
I'm just imagining more comments of that nature. Yes, let's make one of the most satisfying boss fights in the game easier. That's what I want. Gosh. Gotta fucking love Elden Ring, right? I don't know. It's better than Sekiro. I'm gonna be so honest. I fucking hate that game. It's for other people, and those people aren't me, because I just ugh. That is not my favorite Souls game by any stretch of the imagination. It's great for people who love parrying, but if that's what like what it requires for the whole game, I played for like 4 hours, and it took me that long to beat the first 2 or 3 bosses. And it was one of those situations where I felt more like, well, I'm glad this is over, not super satisfied for beating it, you know? Like, I'm not saying Sekiro's a bad game, because it's not anything close to that. It's just not my favorite game by, you know, at all, like, by any means. Like, I actually kind of regret purchasing it, because I have no idea when I'm actually going to get around to playing it. At this point, if I don't get a first phase beat clear soon, I think I'm going to just call the stream at 3 hours. Yep, that was fucking misinput. I love the same fucking attack 3 times in a 4? Yeah. No consistency, right? Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, Lord have mercy. The fucking 4 times. Like, one of the most demanding attacks that she has in her repertoire just fucking made me do that 4 times in a row. Right off the start. I fucking hate that attack so much. I hate it more than the other one, because it happens more than the other one. At least you know when the other one's gonna happen. That one just fucking happens over and over, and can happen 3 to 5 times whenever. So yeah, I can see how people complain about her fucking long ass combos, bro. Like, they're just fucking ridiculous. I was not ready. that one started bad. I didn't even use my buff. Fucking stagger, dude. I really do like this game. I just feel like it's gonna alienate a whole nother level of players. Like, I don't know. I do not really see how people see this as the easier game. I guess because you have more at your disposal, but at the same time, mechanically, if you play this game like you play Dark Souls 2 and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, you're gonna have a hard time. I didn't have enough health. See, the problem is I'm pushing phase way too quickly. Like, I need to get the first handful of hits in, make sure I evade enough attacks so he doesn't regain health, and then throw the fucking throwing knife to cue that attack to go, and then I'm good. I've definitely learned a lot this stream. I'm just kind of frustrated by the lack of progression, you know? Alright. It's like one more attack. Fuck, I was getting fucking too aggressive. Yeah, I don't know, Chad. I'm calling an audible. I know that we had Elden Ring set for 4 hours today, but unless I make some crazy big progress here soon, I'm gonna have to keep pushing it off till tomorrow. I mean, luckily we've learned some more today. It's just like I said, for it to be a good prime run, I can't be super fucking exhausted. So, like, about 3 hours into stream doing the same boss for 3 hours. I'd just rather would, you know, get a good night's sleep, think about it a little bit, and you know, and hopefully we'll make some more progress tomorrow. That one was just me being dumb. This is one of those bosses that just requires so much patience. And I think at times, even though I've gotten better at being patient in these games, I don't necessarily always maintain such patience. Especially when I feel like I'm getting to the point where the boss, like I'm getting close to doing a good bit of damage or pushing it to the next spot. See, like, what the fuck was that? Like, I'm just throwing at this point. That's why I feel like I should almost call it for today, because to me, I notice very quickly when I'm hitting the wall and when I'm no longer making the progress I was making during the session earlier. And considering I started this whole thing off pushing past phase twice within half an hour, and now it's been, what, an hour of not even getting there at all? It just lets me know that I'm already starting to hit that point of exhaustion. That was bad. That was just bad. This has to be one of the hardest fucking bosses I've ever played. There's just so much to remember. I mean, you have to do so many different evasive maneuvers during this fight, and so many offensive maneuvers to force her to do certain things to make it more manageable. What? I thought that was fucking perfect timing. See, I'm just getting sloppy now. Like, each subsequent run has got sloppier and sloppier until I've got to the point where I can't even fucking make any moves anymore. I'd rather have a long boss fight that I feel like is just strenuous than have one that I feel like is fucking taxing to do each and every time, but seems shorter. Because this does not seem like, all put together, this is like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. There's no way this is like any longer than that, if you're doing the right moves. I was gonna try to take myself out. Yeah, I've had enough for today. I'm gonna be completely honest. I just don't want to play it anymore. I'll be back tomorrow, and each day until I fucking beat it, regardless of how long that takes. It's just, I hate being stuck in the same spot. But we've made more progress in this stream alone than the past 2 streams, so at least we're heading to a point in coming to a good conclusion. I feel like we understand kind of how the boss works now, and we just have to consistently achieve that. We have to move around the difficult attacks and find those openings. But ultimately, it's been a educational stream. I feel like I've learned a good bit about the pattern of this boss fight. Had some good conversations with you guys in chat, which I'm always grateful to see familiar faces pop in chat from time to time, like Louis Long and Matthew Hassard. Shout out to you guys for stopping by. But yeah, if you guys are looking forward to more Elden Ring content, tune in around the same time tomorrow for more of the same. Since you guys love to see me suffer. But as always, it's been Brave from the Vid-Bits. Take care of yourself. See you on the next one. Peace.